Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hey now. And a hey now. Welcome to hour number 4 of the line, Talk 99.5. And a hey now to Stacy G, our friend out in Florida, who's on the YouTube. I see you, Stacy G. I see you, cuz. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us for real. I know y'all miss John Bird and all that stuff, but I mean, I'm cool too, right? Podcast coming up tonight. David Lynham filling in for the John Bird. So I don't believe, for those of y'all that are members on our Facebook, on our YouTube, I don't think we'll have a post show today. But I'll try to get y'all some extra content over the weekend for those of you that pay for the exclusive content. Hold on, I'm plugging something up. Hold on. There we go. I got y'all covered. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about a thing, Coles. Talk 99.5 app. If you have not downloaded that, man, I can't encourage you enough to get your hands on it. It's so useful. And I've run into this situation or these comments that I've gotten from people that say, no, I downloaded the app a long time ago and it sucks, and I deleted it. If that is you, we revamped the app not long ago, and it works so much better. It's so much easier. I like an app that is simple, that is easy to comprehend, easy to use. And so when you pull it up, this is the first thing you see, right? At the very top, it is the live feed. If you look at the app during one of our shows, you will see the live feed on YouTube. It's the very first thing. And underneath that is the I guess maybe some of the previous live streams or something. There's also an option to call the show, a button to text the show. You can just click it and text through the app. And then below that are the archive shows. If you want to go back and listen, there's Dixon Inviting, there's me, there's Leland, and that's it on the home page. Not a bunch of bull crap, not super bulky with a bunch of ads. And there on the bottom, it's got a little play button. If you just want to listen to the show, you can listen to it that way. So y'all go get your hands on it. Go to your App Store or Apple App Store or your Google Play Store and download that bad boy. You'll be glad you did. So, yeah, Senator Richard Blumenthal defended a guy that was actually registered to vote. But here's the thing. This may be, now that election fraud is in the spotlight, this may be arguably the most concrete evidence that Democrats use illegals to cheat. I want you to flash back to November 4th, 2016. Then President Obama openly encouraged in an interview illegals to vote in the 2016 election and assured them that ICE and federal law enforcement will not seek them out or deport them if they vote. Just 4 days before the 2016 election, Obama's told illegals to vote and that he would not arrest them for it. Plain as day. This is exactly why you need U.S. immigration officers at polling stations. Not to necessarily hem people up and take people off for deportation or to go through immigration court, but for a deterrence. And you definitely need them in deep blue counties and deep blue states where they obviously don't want to clean up their voter rolls. Because we need illegals to be afraid to vote. We need the exact opposite of what Obama did in 2016. We need the illegals to know that if they try to vote in our elections, they will be arrested. The exact opposite message has been sent to them for years and years and years. Whenever somebody on the left says that Dems don't cheat in elections or that illegals don't vote, I want you to tell them about this particular interview, this soundbite, because Obama openly told illegals to vote. This interviewer is a young lady who is a DACA recipient. Dreamers, DACA recipients, are not eligible to vote and are considered non-citizens. DACA is supposed to be temporary and is not a pathway to U.S. citizenship. Yet, when the question is posed by this young lady to sitting President Barack Obama, this is what he said.
Last night, the New Jersey governor admitted that 6,000.
That's give me cut 10, if you will. This is again November 4th, 2016.
The largest number.
4
days before the election.
You show up at your polling place, they can't stop you from voting. They can't stop you from voting. If people want to know how to vote, then you can go to iwillvote.com. The fact of the matter is that we give our power away all the time. You know, we tell ourselves, oh, it's hard, it's not going to matter, it's not going to count. And the powers that be, they're counting on us giving our power away.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true.
Okay.
And the reason is, first of all, when you vote, you are a citizen yourself, and there is not a situation where the voting rolls somehow are transferred over and people start investigating, etc. The sanctity of the vote is strictly confidential in terms of who you voted for. If you have a family member who maybe is undocumented, then you have an even greater reason to vote.
How about that? You have an even greater reason to vote. He said that may be undocumented, kind of like documentation is this fluid thing. But she said it. She said, as a dreamer, if I vote, am I going to be arrested? Nah, you're not going to be arrested. No, we don't do that kind of stuff. Actually, when you vote, you become a U.S. citizen. Isn't that what he just said? He said some form of that. When you cast your vote, you become a citizen. That's wild. And by wild, I mean treason. Said that out in the open. Nobody batted an eye. 4 days before an election. And ever since, and I firmly believe that with what Joe Biden did with our borders, which is maybe the biggest travesty of all the things that was done during his term. I don't even like to say that he did because he didn't even know what day of the week it was. With all the things that were done during that administration, that is likely the worst. Number 2 would likely be Abbey Gate, the Afghan withdrawal. I'm not going to put a list together. We'll be here all day. But they are. The list is a mile long. Day 1, killing the Keystone XL pipeline. Literally causing hundreds of people to lose their jobs. Thousands of people to lose their jobs on day 1. Like that was your, hey, I'm the new president. Here's what we're going to do. Thousands of people lose their job. Countless towns and counties lost their cash flow, lost the economy that they had built around this pipeline, where workers from all over the country had come and were spending their money in these businesses. They lost all that. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm just saying there's so many different things. And I believe that's what Barack Obama wanted to do. I believe that Barack Obama wanted to bust the border wide open. But he was in a position to where he wanted to protect his legacy and he wanted to convey himself, even with his radical background that everybody dismissed, even with his mentors like, Jeremiah Wright and Bill Ayers, literal terrorist, and GD America, and all of this anti-America rhetoric and ideology that he had surrounded himself with in the lead up to becoming just out of nowhere a senator and then president. I think he wanted to do that. But he wanted to protect himself and go down in history as the first black president and this great, almost Messiah-like figure, and not do anything that would damage that on the way out. Could do it subtly, and he did. Caused great division in this country and everything else, but he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. Then Trump comes along, screws everything up. And that's why it was so important for them to take him out, because Obama had laid the foundation for what was to come with Joe Biden. And behind the scenes, once Joe Biden ran, it was always known Joe Biden was going to be a puppet. Joe Biden used to be a joke. Like, people used to make fun of Joe Biden because he was so out there. There were so many Joe Biden gaffes, and like he was just he did more harm than he did good for the Democrat Party. But he was the ideal candidate because he was somebody that Barack Obama and the upper echelon of the Democrat Party knew they could control, thus creating a scenario to where Barack Obama could have what he once claimed he wanted, which is a third term, without having to be the face of the Oval Office. He said in an interview once, I wish I could run for president again, but not be president, just be behind the scenes with an earpiece and tell the president what to do. He said that himself. Then all of a sudden it came to fruition, and all of those things that he wanted to do, because it's obvious. You just heard it. It's obvious. He was very pro non-citizen voting, that this was the major step, and this was the key to get non-citizens voting, is to flood the zone, flood the U.S. with people from all over the world, all stretches of the world. And because of that, we're now in this position. In a lot of cases, with a lot of the things that we talk about on this show and that ail this country, a lot of those roads lead back to that particular president. The foundation was laid. It got disrupted over the course of 4 years, but they were able to hamstrung Donald Trump to an extent. Is it hamstrung or hamstring? No, hamstring would be in your leg. Hamstrung. Donald Trump was hamstrung to an extent, not completely. He got a lot of good stuff done in the first term. But they were able to hold him back enough with the help of Republicans and D.C. swamp creatures long enough to get 81 million votes to a guy that nobody ever wanted. He was not even close to the most popular person running for president in 2020. He had run multiple times in the past, never came close to winning office. He only became vice president because he attached himself to an incredibly, incredibly popular politician named Barack Obama and rode those coattails. Like, Joe Biden did nothing except get a bunch of people thrown in prison for the 94 crime bill and say racist stuff and act weird, sniff people and touch children in weird ways and shower with his daughter. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down the list, but you get it. That's how all of this played out. And so Donald Trump and the Trump administration, God bless him, God bless Marco Rubio, God bless JD Vance and everybody else that is in that circle for taking on the task of taking down an empire that was built over the course of multiple years by socialists. And that is another thing that you can tie this back to. The open borders, the desire for non-citizens to vote, the rise in socialism, it all goes together. And it all leads back to one man. 545-9950. 205-545-9950. More of the line next. Chuck Davis bringing you this part of the show. ChuckDavisLaw.com. ChuckDavisLaw.com. That's right. My buddy Chuck Davis. You need representation. He's your guy. You already know all the things: divorce, custody, wills, probate, contracts, personal injury, wrongful death, car wreck, slip and fall, whatever it may be. If you need representation, call him. I'm telling you, it's just, all attorneys have different things that they what's the word I'm looking for, that they are, I was going to say, are experts in or specialize in. That's the word I'm looking for. Different things that they specialize in. And Chuck's the same way. He's got certain things that he does. He's got certain things that he doesn't do. But the beauty of it is he's got a network of the best attorneys out there. And what he can do is give you a referral to somebody that he knows personally will take care of you. And that way you're not leaving empty-handed if you have something crazy. But just call him. If you need an attorney, just call him. Calling him doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't. You just talk to him, ask him some questions, tell him what situation you got going on. Maybe even set up a meeting. You can go up to his office and meet with him. I do that occasionally, and we just kind of BS. But and sometimes I got issues I got to talk to him about. But he's a good dude, and he's easy to talk to and easy to get along with. So y'all reach out to him. ChuckDavisLaw.com is the website. 205-823-9992. That's 205-823-9992. And online, ChuckDavisLaw.com. No representation is made that the legal services provided are superior to the legal services provided by other lawyers. Trump is speaking now. We'll get to that when we get back on the other side. In the meantime, let me remind you about Earnest Financial. RetireWithEarnest.com. I know I'm just throwing them at you right here, but I've been rambling and I forgot. RetireWithEarnest.com. 833-596-7233. That is 833-596-7233. If you got over $50K in your retirement at this point in your life and you want it protected and you want to make sure your money is growing and that when you get to the point that you're ready to retire, that you ain't got to worry about a thing. Not only are you going to have enough money to ride out the rest of your days, but you'll have money to pass down to your family members, to your kids, your grandkids. Do it, man. It's a smart thing to do, and it doesn't cost you anything. 833-596-7233, retirewithernest.com. When you talk to him, make sure you tell him I sent you. Donald Trump, up next. Pro Lift Garage Doors. Pro Lift Garage Doors. My buddy Mike Miller, as I always say. He's a good dude, man. He's out there doing good work, him and his team, handling all your garage door needs. So, and remember, I say this occasionally, but it's important to remind y'all that when you reach out to these guys and you get some stuff done, or even if you just call them to ask questions, you're supporting the show. And you're supporting what we do here, and it means a lot to me, means a lot to JB, means a lot to everybody. So thank y'all for what y'all do. Mike is part of the family as well, just as you guys are. So when you call Mike, you're basically calling family, part of the 99.5 family. If you tell him that, tell him you're with us, part of the Hey Now Nation. He's gonna get out there and give you a free quote. He'll come out to you, whatever it is you need. You need your door replaced, the opener replaced. If you want them insulated so you can have, summer's a little cooler, winter's a little warmer, whatever it is, big or small, big bay doors, roll-up doors, regular car garage doors, doors. You'll just reach out to him and let him get you squared away. He's a genuinely good guy, and he's out there helping people for real. So here's the number. Write it down. Put it in your phone. Write it on your husband or your wife's forehead or something. 205-346-8465. That's 205-346-8465. And online, proliftdoors.com. That's proliftdoors.com. Let's hop over here real quick. Trump's talking about data centers, AI centers, and the stuff that's going to be required for them, and the investments and the electricity that's going to be produced, which apparently is going to be an abundance of electricity that's going to be able to go into the communities, hopefully bring down energy prices, things of that nature. Let's go live to the president at the EPA headquarters.
Oh, we don't want a data center. Usually those are the people that actually want them, and they'd like you not to build them. Because you know what? If it doesn't go to you, and if it doesn't go to Georgia, as an example, it's going to go someplace else. And those people are very happy to get them, too, the smart people. American Electric Power now projects that their customers will enjoy as much as $16 billion in cost offsets for consumers thanks to their data center contracts. $16 billion. So think of that. That's cost offsets. In Iowa, Alliant Energy data center deals. Where are you, Alliant? Alliant, where are you? Are you here? Thank you. Data center deals are allowing them to freeze electric rates for consumers for at least 5 years. So your rates are going to stay the same or lower. In Louisiana, there's a guy looks like he's from Louisiana to me. Public school teachers in so think of that, Richland Parish are getting as much as $50,000 in bonuses this year thanks to a $27 billion project by Meta that will also save local residents $2.6 billion on their electricity bills. Their electricity is going down in less than That's big stuff, Mr. Governor, right? You didn't have any doubt about it. Here's a governor doing a great job. We have some really great governors in this room. With the Ratepayer Protection Pledge, we're creating a fair deal for everybody. This is how we'll grow our economy, lower the cost of living, protect American consumers, and lead the world in AI and high tech, all at the same time. We want to lead the world. And it is said, if you come in second, you're going to be second overall, because there's never been anything big like this. There's never been any, like in Georgia, there's no other thing you can do to create numbers like you've created, Brian. Both of you, there's no other thing. You can do 100 different deals, 100. It is nothing close to what you've been able to do. And why? They put a big, gorgeous new plant in a certain location. Big deal. It's so incredibly positive. Unfortunately, there are some who would like to lead us down the opposite path. And I call them the radical left communists. They call them socialists, but these people are communists, actually more. I think it's a much more accurate term. want to shut down all new development, kill our most successful industries, destroy hundreds of thousands of jobs, and surrender the AI race to China. And China, look, you know, I'm not blaming them. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for President Xi, but they represent China. We represent the United States of America. And they lobby against these things, and they spend money on it. And they want communities to reject them as much as possible because they'd like to be leading the race. But we're leading the race. And unless we're very foolish and, frankly, very stupid, we'll continue to lead the race. We have a nice lead. A lot of people didn't expect that was possible. Perhaps even worse, the radical left's plans would not lower your electricity bills, but they would actually increase them very substantially because you wouldn't have all of this money pouring in. You'd have American energy would be far more expensive, and regulating oil, natural gas, and clean, beautiful coal. It would be the end of all of it. It would be the end of all of it. It would be the end of, frankly, it would be the end of great success for our country because we've never had anything like what's happening right now. I call them the Democrats because their policies are so bad. Look, think of it. No men. We want no men in women's sports. Transgender, they want transgender for everybody. I call it transgender mutilization of your children for everybody. Open borders where the world can pour in, where prisons from all over the world are released into our country, and we've done a hell of a job in getting them out. Murderers, 11,888 murderers let into our country under the previous administration. We've gotten a lot of them out. We're getting the rest of them out fast. But the Democrats in Congress want less energy, not more, and if given the chance, they'd send your prices soaring and inflation skyrocketing, which is exactly what would happen if you had somebody else sitting in the position that I am right now. And just like we did with the Green New scam, where we were scammed, the whole country was, I wasn't scammed, I got it right from the beginning. I got it from the first minute when I heard this crap, you know? They were saying wind was so wonderful, except you couldn't watch your television. They wanted to watch the debate. Donald Trump against Sleepy Joe Biden. Nobody could watch it because the wind wasn't blowing. Remember that? Darling would like to watch the debate tonight. I'm sorry, the wind isn't blowing. No, that's one of the great scams of all time. But, you know, if you dislike another country, let them keep building windmills. They are going down. People are finally figuring it out. But we're not going to let it happen to this country. We're going to use the kind of things that work, and they're working better than anybody ever thought possible. So experts have observed that the amount of energy a society produces is the single greatest indicator of its advancement as a civilization, its success as a country. Think of it when you think the amount of energy produced, Lee. So when you give those fast approvals, that's a positive thing. I want you to feel good. Yet instead of offering a positive version and vision for carrying American civilization to new heights, the radical left only wants to limit our energy consumption and rein in our American dreams. We have the American dream. Until we came along, we had a great first term. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And this economy will blow it away. We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they start blowing away communities, one by one. We cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon, and that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon. Under the And by the way, this should have been done by other. They've been saying 47 years now for about 3 years, but this should have been done for 50 years by other American presidents or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but it seems to, if we don't do it, nobody else is. But I will, and nobody else has the capability to do it either. We built, in my first term, the greatest military anywhere in the world, and we're using it a little more than I thought, but that's all right. We had Venezuela, that Chris is doing a fantastic job, and We've paid for the cost of that war many times over. We're taking millions and millions of barrels of oil, and it's going to Houston and Louisiana. You know that. You see those ships lined up. And again, we've paid for that many, many times over, and we have a great relationship with Venezuela. And the people are happy in Venezuela right now. They can't believe what's happened. We have the biggest companies, the biggest oil companies in the world going in and doing business like nobody ever thought possible. And we're taking some, we should, and they're taking some. And, you know, it's very interesting that they're making more money. Chris was showing me some numbers. They're making more money, Venezuela, now than they've ever made before. And we're making a lot, too. And I think we're entitled to that. So it was really something. We took that. It was a one-day war. It took one day. People said, oh, we're going to be tied up there forever. And here, you know, we were in Vietnam for 20 years, lost thousands and hundreds of thousands of lives, but thousands and thousands of lives. We were in Afghanistan for years. We were in all these wars that you heard about for years and years. We were, you know, I called them never-ending wars. Well, we're in for 4 months, and I had a very sad day yesterday. I went to Dover. 4 great American patriots killed. That's 18 in 2 wars, and 1 is too many, but it's 18, whereas in Vietnam we lost 200,000. We lost thousands and thousands in Afghanistan. We lost thousands in every war. The Korean War, thousands, and these wars all lasted for years. And we want to get it over with, and we want to do it right. But we have to do what we came to do, and that's we can't let these people, very violent people, we can't let them have what they want, which is nuclear weapons. It came from all of this success, came from innovation and ambition and drive. In this country, we build the future fearlessly and confidently so that America always will be strong, prosperous, and dominant. And the other thing we're going to add to that, we want to be free, and we're going to continue to be free as long as we're smart. And we can't be hoodwinked. We can't be taken advantage of by people that say you're going to have a free home, you're going to get free rent, everything's going to be free. What they don't say is a year later, everything is going to end up in squalor, destruction, and death, and also death for our country. So we have to stop the threat of the communist rhetoric that you're hearing right now, because these people, they don't act. I'm very happy a poll came out. It said they're highly educated, but doing very poorly. In other words, they're losers. They went to school, they got a good education, now they don't know what they're doing, so what they do is they complain about people like yourselves that have done so well. But we can't let the communist ideology we don't want to even think about it for this country. It would be terrible. So we're joined today by some of the people helping to do all of the things that I just talked about, putting the Ratepayer Protection Pledge into action. And here with us are Secretary of Energy Chris Wright, who's an outstanding person. Doug Burgum told me about Chris. I didn't know Chris. I wanted Doug to head up energy, and Doug said, no, there's one man that's better. Who? Chris Wright. I said, who the hell is that? Turned out to be this guy right over here. And he's turned out to be incredible, really incredible. He's running Venezuela. He's running a lot of, more than anybody has ever run before, I think we can say, Chris, right? He's doing a great job, so we appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks. A friend of mine, the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, popular guy, really smart, street smart and book smart, which is a rare combination, by the way. We have the governor of Nebraska, Jim Pillen, who's done a fantastic job. He's where's Jim? Is there any someplace? Where are you? Oh, hello, Jim. You're looking good. You don't change much? Thank you. You don't change much. How's Nebraska doing? Good? Do they still like Trump in Nebraska? I think so. Huh? We had a very good night 2 nights ago in a place called Arizona. We're 14 out of 14, and we're doing that kind of numbers in Nebraska. I think we're doing those numbers everywhere, and it's all based on common sense. You know, we're conservative, we're this, we're that, whatever you are. The most important thing is we're people of common sense. We want to have strong borders. We want to have good education. We want to have low taxes. We want to have a great military. We're people of common sense, and if you do that, you'll be very successful at politics. Governor of Idaho, Brad Little, thank you very much, Brad. Governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, thank you, Brian. Great honor. Entergy CEO, Drew Marsh. Drew, thank you very much, Drew. Thank you, Drew. Great job you're doing. Southern Company CEO, Chris Womack. Chris, hi, there he is again. Chris, I didn't know that was your name. Just saw you. I said, that's a smart guy because you did that big job making people in Georgia rich, right? That's Meta President Dina Powell, who's been my friend. She was with me for 4 years in the White House. And I called up Mark. I said, you hired the right person. You got the right person. So great, Dina. We're proud of you. Columbia County Commission Chairman Doug Duncan. Doug, thank you, Doug. Congratulations. Job well done. And Sheldon Jones of Louisiana's Richland Parish School District. And thank you very much. Good job. You know him, don't you? Huh? Thank you. I heard you're doing fantastically well. And again, Lee Zeldin, who's been so outstanding. So, thank you. So I just want to leave you by saying that it's an honor to be here. I'm going over now to talk about various and sundry subjects. One is the Iran war, where, again, we're doing very well, very, very well. I would say better than anybody expected could be done. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force, all of their radar, most of their capability in terms of manufacturing. Their drones are down 84%. Their missiles are down 91%. And I had a newspaper say, they're in stronger position today than they were 4 months ago. No, that's not the truth. That's not right. I can't believe they're even allowed to say it. New York Times said, they're in stronger position today. They have no military. They have no Navy. They had 159 ships. Everyone's at the bottom of the sea. They had 212 airplanes. Everyone is gone. They have no radar. They have no anti-aircraft. They have no nothing other than they're mean and they're smart and they still have some capability. But 4 months ago, trust me, they were much, much stronger. Okay, I want to give you the non-fake news. But we're going to do that, and we're going to then have the Dodgers. The World Championship Dodgers are going to be over at the White House. They're going to be waiting. And I'll meet a man who's just about the best pitcher in baseball and just about the best hitter in baseball and just about the best fielder in the outfield in baseball. And needless to say, I guess he had a game where he pitched a almost perfect game, and he had 2 or 3 home runs in that game, and they said it was probably, I said, you know, never seen that. Only Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was a great pitcher, and he was a great hitter. But even the Babe didn't throw a one-hitter and hit 3 home runs, which would make it, I would imagine, about the greatest game ever played. So we're going to meet him and all of the people of the Dodgers. They won the World Championship, and we see the champions, the Super Bowl champions, and the baseball and basketball, all of them. They like to come over to the White House. We're going to have a little thing in a few minutes. But I want to just thank everybody, and we're really talking about the ratepayer protection plan. To me is very important because
all right, let me hop in here real quick. Tell you about Mandu, MANDUU.com. Love me some Mandu, just like I love my president. And I want you to try it out, man. I never ask you to sign up for Mandu. I never ask you to spend a dime. All I ever ask you to do is to get your free session. There's a session out there for everybody. Whether you're man or woman, or you're 18 years old, or you're 80 years old, or 90, or 100 years old. I don't really care how old you are. If you are in a position where you're just saying to yourself, there's actually several different types of people that go to Mandu. There's those that are like, man, I have not done a good job of taking care of my health, watching my weight, you know, everything else that comes with that. And I would like to finally get back on track. This is the perfect way. This has been the one thing that has worked for me out of the many things that I've tried. This has been it because it fits in my schedule. It's only 15-minute workout. I got a personal trainer telling me exactly what to do, and I'm in and out of there in no time. It's a godsend, really. And the people that own it are great. Paul and Jolie are absolutely amazing and have been nothing short of wonderful to me, as they are with everybody that goes up there. You're going to love it. So I want you to get that free session. That's all I'm asking you to do. The way you do it is you go to the website, mandu.com, MANDUU.com. When you do that, click the button that says claim your free session. It's right there in the middle. Can't miss it. And pick where you want to go. You can go to Homewood here in Birmingham. You can go to Huntsville. You can go to Tuscaloosa. And even if you do sign up, you can use any of those studios. You can go back and forth. Say you travel across the state for work. You can go to the closest one near you. But I want you to get with it, man. You're gonna thank me later for this. Mandu.com, MANDUU.com. When you talk to them, make sure you tell them Andrew McLean sent you. Quick break. Back after this. All right, here we go. Trump just wrapped up, and we're doing the same. But I'm going to tell you about Noto before I get out of here. 205-848-2299. Noto Roofing. Free roof inspection. Free roof tune-up. What else could you ask for? NotoRoofing.com. Roof is very important, man. Y'all know this. I tell you this every single day. Take care of it. Take care of your roof like you take care of the other important things in your life. Because if you ain't got a roof, you ain't got nothing but a freaking, I don't know, a litter box or something. Call them up. Get with it. 205-823. I'm sorry, 848-2299. NotoRoofing.com. Until tomorrow, see ya, cut.